Anything else? Yes, Gordon.
I would like to broach a topic that is not on the agenda, if I might. Specifically, the prison board took action yesterday regarding the detentions requested by ICE. My question is exactly what does that mean now? Because I'm hearing two variations on a story here.
No.
Does it mean that the county will now comply with all requests for a detainer, or is each request going to be performed on a case-by-case basis?
I think the latter, but I'll let Jamie.
Yeah, the action taken was to repeal the policy and defer to the warden on any detainer requests that he would then handle on a case-by-case, same words.
So, in fact, the county may indeed deny a request by ICE under these
It's still possible to, yeah, the warden may still ask for a warrant to be part of the process. But the policy, you know, without the policy, it's not a certainty every time. So, I mean, that's what Galarza decision really is all about, is saying that the detainer request is not enough, and the warden, of course, is very, you know, knowledgeable and well spoken on what Galarza does and says. But if he would need to seek counsel or, you know, check with the solicitor before acting on anything like that, he could. But it's very infrequent too, those detainer requests.
Oh, the question is that the county has been accused in some circles of being a so-called sanctuary city.
Sanctuary County. Yeah.
Well, sanctuary entity. Does that now satisfy ICE, or does it not?
ICE didn't really have a problem that we knew of. They haven't made a statement or come after Lebanon County saying you folks are not compliant. They have not done that. In my mind, a lot of it was generated by local politicians. So,
Well, the Center for Immigration Studies initially came out with the report that named communities as sanctuary communities. From that report, pretty much the Department of Homeland Security just adopted that list onto their report. And that's what came out back in, was it back in March maybe? Those first couple of reports came out by the Department of Homeland Security, then they stopped them because some of the information was erroneous in it. But, so does this change those opinions, or does it automatically remove the county from a list? No, not automatically. What I intend to do is inform Department of Homeland Security and Center for Immigration Studies that this has taken place, and then they can consider whether or not to remove the county, Lebanon County, from the list. But there are examples in other parts of the country where exactly that has happened, where the policy has either been repealed or changed, and then those communities removed from the list. And there's Finney County, Kansas, Ocean County, New Jersey, and I think a parish in Louisiana where the sheriff establishes the policy, and the sheriff repealed it, and in those instances they were all taken from the list, so removed from the list. So there is some precedent or proof that it happens that way.
Oh, it's sort of akin to, you get something on a credit report, you try to get that off. So this is allowing us to go after to get our name off of that list. And there's a process involved, and that's where we have to, but the first step was taken yesterday to accomplish that.
And there are 48 other counties in Pennsylvania that aren't on the list.
We want to be one of them.
Who just simply have the process whereby the prison handles these requests as they get them, you know, absent a policy.
I'd just like to say that Lebanon County has always followed the law. After court decisions, we requested a warrant rather than a detainer, and that was following the law based on a court decision. I can also tell you that if you do a little research, what I turned up at least, is that this was originally started as a PAC in Ohio. A PAC by design is a political action committee that is to influence the outcome of elections. And they created this entire list and keep updating it, and people keep quoting it, and it's really not created by a government agency. It's not something that we're ordered to do. But at all times, I mean, they said number 3 is why we're on the list: jurisdictions that have enacted policies which limit cooperation with ICE. Jamie was kind enough to research this. We have 16,000 communications with ICE via email that he can document. 1,300 emails were about detainers. 1,000 conversations occurred about detainers. One person was a United States citizen, just like the case in Lehigh County. Illegal immigrants are detained in Lebanon County if a crime is committed here. And 50 illegal immigrants enter our prison annually. They are here and the court deals with them. So, what we're doing is following the law, and to get off the list is great. I agree with getting off the list, but I don't ever remember voting for the policy, so I did not vote to get rid of the policy, because we still have to follow the law whether the policy's in place or not. It's almost saber rattling. It's really not the law. And I think that there are very good reasons why all of this has to be looked at very seriously. When we take someone into our prison system, we have to feed them, clothe them, house them. We are responsible for their medical care. Guess where all that money comes from? Our real estate taxes. And if our real estate taxes are impacted, that's coming out of our pocketbooks to detain illegal immigrants, which are by law supposed to go to Newark, New Jersey, or York, Pennsylvania, where there are federal facilities to house them. We have an overcrowding situation at the prison. This adds to the overcrowding. And on April the 19th of this year, Dave Warner said our decision was right at that time to continue to follow the law. So, I think there are many things going on in the courts in addition that are going to determine the outcome of this for all counties. Our CCAP is working on it, but the 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution prohibits the federal government from forcing or coercing states to assist in federal immigration enforcement. The Supreme Court ruled in South Dakota versus Doyle in 1987 that the government can only impose conditions on federal funds if those conditions are related to the underlying purpose of the funded program. This means the administration would have to make the case that immigration enforcement is sufficiently related to community or economic development funding. And the third one, the Supreme Court has ruled National Federation of Independent Business versus Sibelius in 2012, held 5-4, that the threat to withhold funding cannot be so significant that it effectively compels compliance. That's a lot of legalese. I think the courts are going to decide this, and the county really just has to keep following the law. Whatever they end up saying, that's what we have to do. So Senate Bill 10 states that we are to comply with the request so long as it does not conflict with the rights guaranteed under the Constitution, which, given Galarza, arguably lets us off the hook for compliance. Franklin County got off the list. I feel that we're getting a lot of things going on as of yesterday, and all of these things, respectfully, Jamie, I think it's premature, and it's going to be decided by the courts. I don't care what we voted yesterday. We still have to follow the law, period. And that was my final thing. And I also have the name of this guy who created the list and maintains it, and with an email that I'll give to Jamie. I didn't get to talk to him previously, but he's the guy supposedly calling the shots here, so I will give that information to Jamie.
Anything else?
Yeah, I just would, quickly for clarification.
Sure.
This is ICE's list you're trying to get off, not a political action committee's.
Well, it's Homeland Security's list we're that were.
Yeah, that was the
It was
latest.
a Homeland Security.
Well, they put out, and it has a long name, I can't remember the name of the report, but it was a report that came out about a month and a half ago. And that's the one you're referring to, Franklin County. Now, Franklin County they didn't get removed entirely from the list, but in that report, they were named as having released someone in defiance of a detainer. They went back and said, no, we didn't, and then it was corrected, and that error was removed. And there was another one in Chester County, and there were some all over the country. That's the latest list. I mean, what created, really, if you look at the Center for Immigration Studies, what they did in 2015 maybe, really just extended into what the Homeland Security list is. They're almost one and the same. Homeland Security, I think, used Center for Immigration Studies information for a lot of the basis of their list and their report. So it's really both, but the official list is maintained by the Homeland Security. Does that get to you? Does that get to your answer?
Well, I can't imagine that you'd be doing this dance because of the Political Action Committee, but I mean, that's why I just wanted to know, is this an official government list?
Yes, we're on the Homeland Security list.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yes.
Just one comment, because we heard a significant plea here for the expenditure of taxpayers' money, which is always a concern for me. I don't want to unnecessarily spend taxpayers' money. Have we, in recent history, held an illegal or an undocumented person in our prison for the reason that they are undocumented? For any length of time?
No, I know the warden's outside the door here. He's coming in for your next session, but no, we have had illegals in the prison being held on local charges, and the local
Right.
charges are what kept them there.
Exactly.
But there was one case that would have been if we had not deferred it.
But as a budget impact for housing, medical, and all those things, we're not
Right, that's my
presenting it
point.
as
That's
a
my
big
point.
budget issue.
Right, right.
Depends if they have dialysis or any other kinds of medical issues,
correct.
AIDS that would be, needed to be treated.
Again,
It would
even
really,
even under this new policy or lack thereof, we are not intending or expected to house undocumented people for long lengths of time. It is understood that they are going to be moved to ICE's detainment areas, not ours.
if you read Jamie's communications from yesterday, the one place it does say for an extended period of time, and that's when all of this could really explode and hit our taxpayer dollars.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, we good? Ask, are they in the public meeting?
No.
Okay, executive session. So we'll move to, or ask a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We stand adjourned. Thank you. Always enlightening.
Been fun, yeah, it's been fun, again.
Have to go back to hospital. Read, understand, for these meetings.
I didn't get to